Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is Elivaras, and welcome to the third match of Here We Go, the Total War Warhammer Discord tournament. With me today, I have a good friend and member of this Discord, Goldfish.
Hello.
And today, both of us are going to be commentating over this match. This is actually Game 3 between myself and Dizzy, and unfortunately, we don't have the first two replays for you guys, so we'll hopefully release some videos in quick succession after this to keep you all sated. But to start off here, we do have Wood Elves versus the Empire. I'm going to go into the Wood Elves comp, my comp, I guess, and then Goldfish is going to take us through the Empire comp. We're going to talk a little bit of strategy before going in, and then we're going to watch the battle in its full epicness. So, starting off here, we do have 2 units of Treekin in the front, 4 units of Eternal Guard with shields, all at 1 silver chevron, hopefully to get some leadership there. We see 2 units of Hagbane Tips archers, 2 units of Wildwood Rangers, a unit of War Dancers with Azrai Spears, my Glade Lord on a Dragon, a Spellslinger of Life with only Earthblood, and a unit of Wild Riders with shields in the trees. So what do we have on the other side there, Goldfish?
Well, the other side looks like a pretty basic comp. We got 6 spearmen in front to take the initial charge. In the back, we have 2 greatsword. Oh no, 1 greatsword, 1 Sigmar's Sons, and 1 Tattersouls. All pretty good shock infantry to get through. It'll be a little bit difficult because the front line's ranks are pretty thick, but that should be fine. In the back of that, there is a Archlector on foot and a Light Wizard on foot. It'll be a little bit difficult to protect him on foot, but it shouldn't be too hard because his front line is pretty beefy. And on each flank, on the right flank, there is 2 Demigryph Knights, 1 Regiment of Renown. And on the far left flank, we have 2 units of Empire Knights, so going pretty cavalry heavy there.
Yeah, what do you think Dizzy's going to have to do to actually take advantage to all this cav he's brought?
Well, it shouldn't be too hard. With the Demigryph Knights, you should be able to tie down any other cavalry that the enemy player might bring, and the other cavalry can just be used to run wild onto the enemy player if used correctly. The issue there is that he has his cavalry on the wrong side. When we look at the Wood Elf player, has his cavalry on the same side that the Empire Knights are on, so it's going to be a little bit difficult there, but if he can take those out, he'll have free reign and mobility with all of his cavalry, and that's going to be really powerful.
That will be really powerful. If he can get some good hammer and anvils into the back of this Wood Elf line, he's going to absolutely decimate it. But obviously, it's going to come down to whether or not he can. So let us hop into the battle in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So it looks like we see the Glade Lord pushing forward here.
We have the front line. Nope, the entire army of the Empire moving forward as well.
Yeah, we see they are heavily mobilizing here. We see an Arrow of Kurnos coming down to the Royal Altdorf Griffites, taking out 2 of them. Decent value there.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind with the Demigryphs is that they don't have that many models to begin with, so just taking out 2 is still a pretty big hit for them.
Oh, definitely, considering they are a Regiment of Renown. Very, very expensive Demigryph unit.
On the other side, left flank for the Empire, the Empire Knights are taking a huge sweep, going to probably run into those Wild Riders. I'm not sure if they can take them on 2v1. Wild Riders are pretty good.
Yeah, 2v1, while they might be able to take on an Empire Knight 1v1, 2v1, really not the odds they're looking for. They're going to have to pull out pretty quickly lest they be spotted.
Not really much happening right now. We got the Glade Lord shooting some arrows into the Light Wizard in the back.
Actually doing quite a bit of damage there.
Light Wizard has only 1 spell, only has the net spell, I forget the name of it. Net of Amontok, I think.
Yes, I believe that is correct. And we do see the Empire Knights engaging with the Wild Riders. I am trying desperately here to pull the Wild Riders out, but they're getting held up here.
And that's a pretty good way how that works out because, again, with this heavy cavalry build and the elves not having that many cavalry, the biggest advantage you can have is for the enemy just to not have any, because then you'll have a huge cavalry advantage, and that can be really devastating.
Definitely, and we can see why Wild Riders are absolutely getting shredded here. They're going to be breaking in very short time, and as they break, the main engagement has begun.
Before the engagement begun, the Light Wizard also broke, didn't even get to cast a spell. He's running away. And not only that, but the shock cavalry seems to have, I mean, the shock infantry seems to have split off, and it's not going to really be pushing through the front line like it wanted to. It looked like the Empire's front line got a little mangled there before the engagement.
Oh yeah, definitely. Getting a little spread out there, and we can see the Royal Altar of Griffites getting netted, and they're going to take a huge amount of damage from these archers, but we see the Empire Knights coming in the Elvish flank.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a really big hit, especially on the, what are the Great Sword units called? The Wildwood Rangers. They're going to take a huge hit there. That's really bad for them.
Yeah, you can see they went from like 80% health down to 40. They took a massive hit. That's definitely not what I wanted to happen in this battle. We can see the Royal Altar of Griffites just not netted, but they took a lot of damage from that arrow fire.
Archlector just used his AoE ability in a 1v1 fight, so that's not really what you want to be doing with him. That might have been a poor decision from the Empire player.
And now we're going to go into slow motion here. We're going to take a look at the battle going on in the front lines. We can see tons of Sigmar's Sons, Spearmen duking it out with Treekin, Eternal Guard with shields, and Wildwood Rangers.
If you should see in the back line of the Empire Street, you could see that Light Wizard actually did reform, netted the Glade Lord, and the Royal Outdoor Griffites are going to get a big charge into him with the anti-large and armor-piercing damage. The Glade Lord isn't going to survive that long in a melee with them.
Yeah, definitely. This is good. This could be very, very bad for me. Is the Glade Lord going to make it out? She is netted. We're going to hop back into normal speed here and watch as the Altar of Griffites get a huge charge right into her.
And she is just melting right now. That's 200 damage so far. It's only been netted for a short amount of time. Does have a Lore of Life for the Elves player, so it's going to get a little bit of healing, but it might not be enough to actually get her out of there in time. She's also going to get caught up by the Empire Knights as well.
Taking a huge amount of damage. I'm forced to pop the potion of... Wild Riders had reformed. I think I bring them back at some point, but much too late. They should have been back ages ago getting some hammer and anvils here, but maybe I can pull out the win without them.
You see the Glade Lord was able to eke through with a total of about 550 healing done to her, still not even at full health, so it was a pretty big blow dealt to her. Not going to be completely out of the fight yet, though, and another net going down from the Light Wizard.
Another net, yeah. If they had Cav in the back lines right now, then those archers would be done. But the Cav is all actually engaged in the front line. Not necessarily what Dizzy wants here. Cav in the front line, not really the best option.
Yeah, the Cav seems to be stuck in the middle of this melee here. If it could get out and start pummeling the back lines of this line, it could probably turn the battle around for him. But the issue here is that the front line for Empire isn't nearly as strong as the front line for the Elves here, and if he doesn't get any sort of advantage, he's just going to lose. He's just going to die.
Yeah,
All the troops are going to run away.
Yeah, definitely, and we can see that already with a lot of routing on the Empire line. Let's go into slow motion one more time here. We're going to take a look at what's going on. The carnage in the front line. You can see all these bodies piled down, and we do see some Elvish arrow fire pouring into these spearmen.
Yep, definitely a good choice to hit the Spearmen with that in the back. No shielding, very little armor. They're going to get completely melted. It looks like there's a chain route here. Only the two unbreakable units left for the Empire. It looks like it's going to be a win for the Elves.
Yeah, massive chain route. We see the Archlector putting up the white flag, getting taken out of the fight. And let's hop back into normal speed here as we see the last of the Sigmars, the Sons of Sigmar, fighting it out along with the Tattersouls.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sons of Sigmar and Tattersouls are not enough to take out an entire army, especially when they get rear charged by the Wild Riders that decided that they wanted to be a part of the fight again.
After a very lackluster early game, the Wild Riders decided to finally come back. Too little, too late, though, but it turns out we did not necessarily need them.
Oh, and pretty much after this is just cleaning up. the few unbreakable units left. Looks like they got a total of 7 models.
Yeah, it looks like we can probably go into double speed here and let this finish out, as it, for some reason, takes them a long time to kill these 2 units. 12 units of Tattersouls left. Arrow of Kurnos fired on some of the fleeing troops just to up the kill counts a little bit there. Another Earthblood, definitely not needed.
Decisive victory.
And a decisive victory, game 3, and that means I take the series 2-1. So let's end the replay here and let's go into the end screen. We do see quite a bit of kills, Wildwood Rangers. Blade Lord, decent amount. Not too many kills all around for the Empire there. Goldfish, what do you think Dizzy could have done better to get potentially a better result out of this fight?
Well, the biggest issue that Dizzy had was that his front line broke before the initial engagement happened, so he wasn't able to actually charge his shock troops in without them actually taking the initial charge. So his front line was already pretty battered before the fight even started. The second thing that was the biggest issue is that he got all of his cavalry caught in like the main melee battle in the front there, and he wasn't actually able to pull them back out to like keep cycle charging them. And I think if those two things went better for him, like went in his favor, he probably could have pulled out a win.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. The biggest issue I felt was that, his cav was just stuck in the front line. You don't want your Empire Knights fighting in the melee. You want them cycle charging the Elvish Rear. We saw that one charge by the Empire Knights that absolutely shredded the Wildwood Rangers. It took them from 80 to 40 in like 10 seconds. If he'd gotten a few more of those, it would have been all but over.
Yeah, the issue with Empire Cavalry is that unlike other factions, the Empire Cavalry is all classified as shock cavalry, which means that they do more charge damage than actual sustained fighting damage. So you need to keep cycle charging them in and out for them to actually be effective.
And if he had done that a little bit more, if he hadn't let them get caught up in the melee, we could have had a very different fight in our hands, especially with the Wild Riders getting nuked out right at the start. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this battle. We'll probably end up filming another one with Goldfish, as this was a shorter battle. So stay tuned for that. Goldfish, I would like to thank you for co-commentating with me today.
No problem, man.
It was great to have you on, and we're definitely going to see more of you in the future. So thank you all for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the continuation of our tournament footage. And don't worry, there is a lot more tournament footage to come. So thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers, guys.